Welcome everyone. This is the MasterClass. My name is Patrick Nazareth. I have around 30 years of teaching experience and I would like to help you dispel your doubts should you have any. Today we look at the lesson The Midnight Visitor, written by Robert Arthur. Robert Arthur was an American novelist. He was born in the year 1909 and he died in the year 1969. He specialized in writing mystery stories. He is known for starting a very successful children's mystery series called The Three Investigators. He is known for his clever plot twists and his surprise endings. In fact, he has won the Edgar Award for it. He has written extensively for Alfred Hitchcock's anthology series. He specializes in stories using intelligence to defeat brute force. How many times are we told never to judge a book by its cover? We are introduced to a secret agent called Ausable. He is walking down the corridor to his room, which is on the 6th floor. He is accompanied by a young writer called Fowler. Fowler is very quiet. Ausable understands why he is disappointed. Because this man has come to meet Ausable, who is a famous spy. He is an American. He speaks German and French, but he has never lost his American accent. In fact, he is nothing like the sort of secret agent that Fowler has imagined, or maybe like you and I imagine, somebody with a gun, somebody very smart, very handsome. In fact, Ausable is an extremely fat man, so fat that even the slight walk has left him breathing heavily. He is unable to talk properly. When he talks, he wheezes. Instead of going to places where there is danger lurking at every corner, he and Fowler have just come from a music hall or an opera house, or maybe you would call it a theater, where instead of people trying to poison the secret agent or fire bullets at him, he simply gets a phone call informing him that somebody is waiting at the hotel. The fat man chuckles understandingly. He tells Fowler, "I'm sorry if you are being bored." Ausable lets Fowler into the room and he says, "Listen, don't worry. You see, I'm expecting an important paper today. This paper is one for which several men and women have risked their lives. And it is such an important paper that one day it might well affect the course of history as we know it." As they go into the room, they are met by the sight of a person called Max. He is holding a revolver and threatening them with it. Fowler, for the first time, feels that thrill of danger and excitement that he is looking for. It is obvious the two know each other. In fact, Ausable addresses Max by name. He asks Max what is he doing in his room. And Max said, "I am waiting for that paper, the paper which has been stolen from us. It concerns some new missiles that are being produced. I will take it from you." Ausable doesn't answer. He walks over to a sofa, sits down heavily. Does he talk about the papers with the missile plans? No. In fact, he is very angry at the management. He tells nobody in particular that I am going to really shout at the management this time because this is the second time in a month that somebody has come into my room through the balcony. Max tells him, "What balcony? I walked in with a passkey." In other words, he opened the door and came in. Ausable continues as if he has not been interrupted. He tells Fowler, "Listen, actually what had happened was this was an apartment. Now it has been converted into 2 rooms. So this balcony actually belongs to the next room. If you look at the door over there, that leads into the next room." And he informs Fowler that how easy it is to get onto the balcony and get into his room. Somebody did so last month itself. The management, he told Fowler, has promised him to block it off, but apparently they haven't. Because look, here's Max. Max looks at Fowler. He says, "You better sit down. There's a wait of about half an hour before somebody comes with the paper." 31 minutes, Ausable confirms. "But how did you get such accurate information, Max?" And Max laughs it off. He says, "Just the same way as you got our report. Similarly, I got information about the report being delivered. But nothing matters because I will get back the report tonight itself." Just then there's a knock on the door and Ausable smiles. He tells Max, "Listen, that's the police. I called them here because I wanted some extra security. I knew the papers were coming. I knew they were important. And I wanted to make sure that I would be able to keep them securely." Max looks around. There is no place to hide in the room. What is he to do? He threatens both Fowler and Ausable with the gun. He says, "Listen, I'm going to step out on the balcony and you get rid of the police. Otherwise, I will shoot. I will take my chances. And we will see what happens then." The knocking at the door grows more insistent, and now somebody's calling, Mr. Ausable, Mr. Ausable. That decides it for Max. He steps out through the window onto the balcony. There is a cry, and Ausable goes to the door. The door is opened, and a waiter stands there. He is holding a drink in 2 glasses. He tells Ausable, I have bought the drinks you ordered, sir, and he places the drink on the table in front of Ausable and leaves the room. Fowler has been through a lot of danger. He is white-faced. He is frightened. He tells Ausable, and the police? You said, where are the police? And that man out on the balcony, what is going to happen to him? Ausable said, don't worry, he's not going to come back. Fowler looks at him blankly, and then he explains. He tells Fowler that there is no balcony. In other words, Max has stepped out of the window and fallen to his death. Remember, we are on the 6th floor. The characters in the story then? The protagonist, Ausable, who is a fat Secret Service agent. He's an American who lives in Paris. He speaks French and German passably. He is highly intelligent and does not panic under pressure. He wins his battle with Max, using his brains alone. He's a master manipulator. There is Fowler, a young, idealistic novelist, who feels disappointed when he realizes that Ausable is nothing like the Secret Service agent he thought about. But in the end, he gets that authentic thrill of danger that he has been looking for. We have Max, a slender man with features like a fox, carries a pistol, and who tries to get the report back that has been stolen. He underestimates Ausable's intelligence and falls to his death as a result. We have Henry, the waiter who brings the drinks. He is an unknowing participant in Ausable's deception. The setting for this particular story then? The time is late evening, midnight, an appointment at 12:30. The place? Ausable's small hotel room at the 6th floor. Also, we are shown the musty corridor through which Ausable and Max walk as they are talking and going to the room. What are the literary devices used by the author here? The first, irony, situational irony. The person who looks least like a spy turns out to be the cleverest one. Dramatic. Readers and Fowler alike believe that the balcony exists. Only later do we understand that it is but a figment of Ausable's imagination. Verbal. Ausable constantly complaining about the nuisance of a balcony when it doesn't even exist. There is foreshadowing. Ausable tells Fowler that he will get a thrill in the course of the evening. The emphasis on disappointment and appearances versus reality. Misdirection. The entire bit about the balcony where the focus is on something which is not even there. Max mentions the passkey with masks the real deception. There is suspense, building tension. They are waiting for some time for the report to come. The knock on the door announcing somebody is outside. Max's panic and his attempted escape through the window. The contrast, Ausable's appearance versus his very real qualities, his intelligence, his capabilities. Max's threatening presence versus his ultimate helplessness. The writer, Fowler, his expectations versus the reality. A stereotypical spy, a threatening man with a gun, versus an atypical spy, a fat man who can barely breathe properly. Imagery, musty corridor, gloomy French hotel, night pressing blackly, and of course, vivid sensory details creates a lot of atmosphere. What are the themes that are given to us by the author then? Firstly, brains versus brawn. Intelligence will always triumph over strength. Appearances versus reality. Never judge anyone or anything by the way it looks. Quick thinking under pressure. If you are composed, if you don't panic, when you are pressurized, you will definitely gain success. Underestimation is an advantage. Sometimes when people dismiss you or dismiss anything as being of no consequence, in the long run, it can be beneficial. That's the lesson there for you then. I do hope I have been of help. If I have, do remember to like, subscribe and share. Remember, there might be others who would be requiring our help. Thank you so much for watching.